Welcome to the channel, you guys. We got a good one here for you. Gary Nolan speaks here, and Gary Nolan talks about the Tic Tac video, and he also gets threatened by the government. So we're going to be reacting to that today. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, you guys. And here we go.
A number of people within the government, they removed his security clearances. He got them back because he actually got one of the heads of one of the top judicial administrators for Defense Intelligence Agency to basically protect him and to argue his case, and he won, at least so far. But then some people from apparently the government leaked his medical reports, and to try to basically disparage his mental health. So why do these people go to all of these lengths to hurt the ones who are coming out if there's nothing there? So what are they, what are they protecting? There. And every time they do something like that, that just gets who's ever doing this into deeper doo-doo, right? I mean, it's just, another reason why amnesty is required. I mean, I've said this publicly, so I'll say it again here. I was personally threatened because I knew of a conversation that happened somewhere, and I alluded to it in the most elliptical fashion on a public broadcast. Literally a couple of days later, I get a phone call from a friend saying, XYZ at the White House is really pissed at you, and you should not ever say anything like that again because Title 18 applies. I said, what does that mean? Lethal force is operable. I'm not kidding you.
Oh my God.
I put down the phone and I honestly, I nearly broke down in tears. And I called a reporter friend of mine to just basically report it to them, to say, this just happened to me. I was just threatened. Because they knew what I was saying. Nobody else would have known what it was what I was alluding to.
Regardless of whether or not it's aliens, if they think you're disclosing their secure information, you might not.
Well,
be
I
safe.
wasn't supposed to know it because I heard it from a friend who wasn't supposed to tell me in the first place. But
yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, returning though to the Tic Tacs, because I derailed you about Elizondo. What do you think, given this evidence that we have, are the competing hypotheses to account for it?
So one of the competing hypotheses is that it's it was a blue on blue, it's called, counterintelligence program where let's say the signal analysis people did was they inserted the information into the information systems of the radar to make it look like this happened, which is perfectly valid. Basically, it was basically the idea being that if we could do it to us, then we can do it to the Russians, right? If we could reach into their systems and make them think that they're seeing things that aren't there,
right? And
we can convince the most expert observers in our military that these things are there.
So it was a test in a sense.
Is a test. So and that so you could look at the men in black showing up on the ship and taking all the records as saying, well, we're going to remove the evidence so you won't figure out that we did this. So that's out there as an idea, and you have to keep it on the table. The only thing that counters that is that there were eyes on.
Yeah,
right?
They actually
so now you have to imagine that somebody had a holographic projector that made it look like there was something there. If we had holographic projectors like that, why are we going to the movies anymore? And working with 2D. So there's no holographic projectors that can reach across miles and make it look like something is there. So you can imagine that you could insert false information into radar systems. But so that's a reasonable alternative.
So hypothesis one maybe is that it was an internal government military test that probably got out of hand. If it became New York Times front page news, that was probably not intended.
Right. Yeah, and so, I mean, you have to then say, well, that the videos were that they had were faked, even though the guy was tracking it with the radar system, was able to get finally lock on, and wasn't able to get lock on for a while. And if it were as some people claim, it was a seagull. This is Mick West, poor Mick. It was a seagull. Well, radars can track seagulls, right? Radars don't not lock on to conventional terrestrial objects. So whatever it was slippery from a radar locking standpoint. It wasn't moving at that time so fast that it could be called anomalous. I think they finally figured out it was maybe moving at about 180 miles an hour. But, it was certainly, it had no flight surfaces. It had no, this is the Tic Tac, it had no heat signature. So what moves with no wings and no heat signature? What moves? Come on. What? Nothing.
Nothing that we know of.
Maybe a balloon, right? But a balloon doesn't move in a straight line at 180 miles an hour. So what is it? So you're left with, and when there's eyes on, as well as the radar and the video of it, you kind of have to believe what the pilot said that they saw.
So if we then assume that the pilots did see what they saw, what they claim to have seen, what are your hypotheses for accounting for what they saw?
Well, the other alternative is that it is a U.S. program, that we do have motility approaches that have nothing to do with aliens or ETs or extraterrestrials, that we have figured out how to move electromagnetically. And so I'm perfectly fine if that were the case. I'd be upset that I still have to get on a United airplane and deal with economy class, and I couldn't just be there, quickly, but again, I understand from a military standpoint, if such a thing were created, that or already available, that they'd want to keep it secret. But then you have to explain why this stuff was showing up in the 1950s and the 1960s. Well,
that's what I was going to say.
You could even imagine any kind of electromagnetic propulsion systems were understood, available, or implemented when we were still busy. We were still busy figuring out how jet engines worked.
So to wrap up this discussion of the Tic Tacs, what does all of the evidence and all of your thinking about the evidence lead you to conclude is really going on here?
That there's a technology that we don't understand. Simple. There's another one over Mosul, Iraq, of basically a 2-foot sphere moving. Just pictures of it. And then the head of Arrow, Sean Kirkpatrick, who's reviled amongst the UAP community because he's so anti-UAP, even though he was supposedly the head of the group that has said that we don't know what this stuff is. Even he came out publicly and said, we have many videos and incidents of these metal spheres with no obvious propulsion moving across our military sites, as if they're, some sort of surveillance.
Well, the two main bodies of evidence we've discussed are these Tic Tacs and then the anomalous health events that you were a part of, or health phenomena that you were a part of. And in both cases, what they lead you to conclude is that there exist advanced technologies that we just don't know how to account for. But that doesn't yet get us all the way to your conviction that aliens are or have been here. And so,
and nor should it.
Right. And I think that's good. That's healthy. What is it, though? What is the smoking gun for you that tells you that even though you can't pull out the laser gun right now, that you believe that aliens are or have been here?
For me, it's really the interpersonal interactions and my just summary of knowledge of the people that I work with, and the things that they say. That's it. That's the only thing that keeps me motivated at this point. I mean,
Hey, you guys, that's it for the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Crazy that Gary Nolan got threatened by the government. Absolutely insane to me. But anyways, you guys, this is just a snippet. This video is actually quite long. I believe it's around 3.5 hours long. So this is a small portion of it. Go watch the whole video. It's really entertaining. I do recommend you guys check it out. But anyways, you guys, like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace out.